All right, we have here the Singer Quantum Stylus 9960. $350 of included accessories. It's in stock right now on Singer.com. $399, which is $200 off their normal price. 600 plus stitch applications, including letters. Stitch sequencing with memory. Consistent buttonholes with 13 one-step buttonhole styles. Convenient stitch selector with stitch style width, length preview. And it uses Singer Class 15 transparent bobbins. Let's check this out, the Singer Quantum Stylus 9960. It's time to unbox. But first, let me check just to make sure. Sometimes I leave a shipping label on and I don't want my address going out to the internet. So real quick, before I make a mistake and, there's the shipping label right there. All right, let's get into it. Unboxing. First thing you see when you open up the box is your instruction manual. There you go. We'll come back to that later. Okay, for quilters, this is a big quilter type machine, and you've got a nice quilting bed on there, and we will save that for later. Next, we're starting to get some accessories here. This actually tells you what the accessories are. Okay, you get one of these shanks, adjustable bias binder, braiding foot, braiding guide, clearance plate. So I didn't know what that was the first time I saw one of these. People also call them hump jumpers, but there you go. This is Singer's official title. They are called a clearance plate, and what that is, what I'm talking about here, is this guy right here. And it gives you some words about that. And some other things. All right, so it actually tells you what you have in this bag. So that I unboxed another sewing machine recently that didn't say what the things were, just kind of threw them in there. Actually, most of them just throw them in there, so that's nice. It comes with a walking foot. Here we go. I can compare this to the one that came with the Singer Heavy Duty, see if it's the same one. And then you get your electronic foot pedal. Looks exactly like a bunch of other ones, and then your power cord. And I am in the US, so it's a US power cord. And now for the part you've all been waiting for. What's in the box? We're going to do this on the floor. It comes with a case, so that's pretty nice. Not every machine comes with a case. Looks like the case is wrapped individually from the machine itself. Okay. That styrofoam is attached and it stays in there. There we go, that's actually pretty nice. Keep your power cord, your foot pedal in there. Maybe foot pedal, at least power cord. And your manuals and things like that. So here we have our Singer Quantum Stylus 9960, along with its cover, and the cover just fits right on there. Keeps it safe, keeps it protected. And that's not a bad cover. Clearance pieces of styrofoam in here. And I believe the styrofoam is supposed to stay in there. I'm not going to rip it out just yet. Okay, so we've got it out of the box. So, you know, when you're doing certain projects and you need, let's get a little more light on this side. You need to have that thin part right there in order to get your sleeves on there or anything like that. That's good. So you'll notice this button right here on the front. This is the one that you accidentally hit and then think your sewing machine's broken because it won't feed. That to the left will drop the feed dogs below the plate, and to the right the feed dogs will operate normally. So make sure that's to the right in this case. And then we like to pack things very well. Okay, we come with an empty bobbin. I know, sometimes we come with bobbins that are threaded. In this case, we get an empty bobbin in the machine. There is a needle in the machine. That's going to be a Singer needle. And it's in there good and tight. I bet you I got a tool in here that can remove that needle so you can see what size they put in for you. Comes with a Singer 9014 general purpose needle installed. Alright, I'm just, because I'm curious, and this probably won't actually end up in the video, but here is the box for the walking foot for the Singer heavy duty machine, and here's the box for the walking foot for the Quantum Stylist. They look exactly the same. Okay, right off the bat, the one that came with the Quantum Stylist does not have Singer's branding on it, which is an interesting turn of events. They do look identical. They look to be the same size. Same everything. So yeah, Singer heavy duty gets you Singer branding. Singer Quantum Stylist doesn't. Who knew? So here are all the accessories that you get inside this machine. And we don't have a very good method of storing all this stuff. You just kind of throw it in the box. The box does have a divider, and what it looks like when I opened it up, you had a plate that was in that divider like this, and then also, so this is for your buttonholing. That was in there as well. So that might be what that's for. Just to hold it out of the way. Not sure what Singer's official stance is on that little thing, but there you go. Because they will lock in to place like that with a little finagling. But when you have all of these presser feet in there, they're just going to jingle jangle around anyway. One thing that they give you is this little tiny seam ripper, and it doesn't even have a safety ball on the end. I think we can do better than that. If you're like me and you're getting a little bit older these days, and you find it a little difficult to use one of these seam rippers, even if you put it back in the lid to hold on to, it's still very dainty and very difficult to use. Also, it doesn't even come with a safety ball on the end of this, so you could stab yourself or poke it through the fabric that you're working on ripping seams on. So, what we have for you here is a Sewing Machine Repair Guy seam ripper. That's right. You can have for yourself a nice sized, handy seam ripper that I can get my fingers around and use this seam ripper and not feel like I have to have evening tea with my seam ripper. So just look at the size difference on these. Yeah, there you go. Also, if you look at the tip, the metal part is even longer on this Sewing Machine Repair Guy seam ripper, and you have the plastic tip to prevent you from ripping your fabric that you don't want to rip and ripping the seams that you do want to rip. You can find these on my Etsy shop, link in the description below. So here we have our Singer Quantum Stylist. Let's look at some of these controls. Notice here we have a ton of different stitches that you can make with this machine. Do you need all these stitches? Probably not. Is it nice to have? Some people think so. It uses the thread up here on this spool. If you want, and you're old school and you like to have your thread vertical, you can use this thread pin and you can put your spool right on there and use that instead. The way I sew is I just have one of these, so I usually set it beside the machine and feed it through right through there, just like that. We just wound our bobbin, so let's go ahead and get this in here so we can get this first stitch out of this beautiful machine. All right, just like most others, one thing I did just notice on this, one is it doesn't have that little cutting piece that you pull your bobbin thread around and cut, so that's not as convenient. The other thing is they don't have the little picture diagram on here to tell me how to put that bobbin in. So maybe they figured out you kind of know what you're doing with Singer by now. All right, and then our upper thread, we're gonna go 1 to 2 to 3, bring that down, up, back around. Go on the little hook there for 6. We're gonna go down, thread the needle. Little needle threader's pretty nice. Now we can turn it on and hear that satisfying sound again. All right, we're set up with our A presser foot and we're on a regular straight stitch. We're gonna see how well this does. The presser foot lever goes side to side here. It's not one that's in the back. It goes side to side. Now it'll go straight without even touching it. Go back, forward. Stops with the needle in the fabric. You can do a cut and then pull our fabric out. And if you look at that, those stitches were right in line with each other. So the measurement front to back is exactly the same on the stitches. Very nice stitches. Remember, we got our white thread on the bottom in the bobbin. And I ran over my thread tail, that's all right. And we had the black on top, so there we go. I just did that right now by pulling on that thread. Using my Sewing Machine Repair Guy seam rippers, cuts that thread effortlessly. Now we're going to fold this over, give us a little bit thicker fabric, and this time we are going to do a zigzag stitch. The hardest stitch for this machine to do, or any sewing machine, is going to be that zigzag, where you have the maximum width In this case, 6 is as high as we can go. And your minimum stitch length, and I'm going to go 1 on this one, 1 millimeter. So we're 6 millimeters wide, 1 millimeter long, and then we're going to go. Okay, and this is going to take forever, so we're going to raise our speed. And that's a pretty good speed. Okay, starts down. And I was just testing to see if I could make it go up with the pedal, but no. Yep, that button right there is how you get there. And then I'm going to cut it, bring it out, and that's a beautiful stitch right there. And our bottom thread right there is about 50%, so that's a little bit tighter on the bottom than I would like to see, but I may just need to loosen my upper tension on this. Not a bad stitch. There's no puckering going on at all. Very good stitch. And that is the first stitch on the Quantum Stylus 9960. Don't forget to go to our Etsy store and get yourself your sewingmachinerepairguy.com seam rippers. In the next video on this machine, I'm going to tear this machine down and see what it's made of. See if we've got a metal frame in here. See what kind of gears we have in here. See what sort of operations we have going inside. Is it made to be taken apart to do maintenance? Because you have to oil these things. There are moving parts that require lubrication. Can I easily get to those parts? I don't know those answers, but we're going to find out in the next video. Thanks for watching.